Well, hey there, Scorpio. Welcome to Zen-Tarot. My name's Julie. We are going to do a tarot card reading for you today, Scorpio. We are taking a look at your energy with this new moon in Libra here on the 21st. I hope the energy is treating you well. If you like this reading, Scorpio, please hit the like, share, and subscribe buttons so that I know if you guys are resonating with these readings. And if you would like a personal reading from me, I am open for those. I will leave my information in the description box below. All right, Scorpio, what is going on? Let's get you an Osho Zen Tarot card for Up in the Ether. Spirit, can we get some messages for the sign of Scorpio? What's going on with Scorpio? Clinging to the past, the 5. Oh my God. Scorpio, the 5 of Cups comes in. Your head is in the past, all the things that have gone on. It's kind of like this reckoning, forcing you to look at it and to kind of relive these moments that were maybe quite painful or really broke your heart here. So yeah, it's like this television in your mind. You're revisiting the story, but you're more the observer. I can almost feel like you looking down on the situation. You can see yourself and the others that were involved in the experience, and you're seeing it from this broader perspective, or from like your higher guides' perspective. So that's very interesting. I think that's to kind of remove the emotion from it, or to be a little bit removed of it, so that you can see what really happened, or what really was going on, what was said compared to what was felt in the moment. Big difference, huge difference. So that's what you are doing, taking a walk down memory lane and going with the flow. I love this. The Page of Cups here coming through, the lazy river coming in. I always see this card as kind of the lazy river with going with the flow. I think this has to do with seeing the memory from kind of an astral projection type position for you. You're looking down in on it. You're seeing yourself maybe as a child, maybe as a young adult when you were dealing with things on your own or standing on your own there. So you're seeing it from this broader perspective. It's like watching your life story on a screen here, where you're not really emotionally involved in it. So you're just taking it easy with these memories. You're going down memory lane here, but you're going with the flow. You're letting the experience happen instead of trying to rewrite history or rewrite the story because it was very painful. Wow, Scorpio, that's beautiful. Let's see what kind of animal spirit guide is walking in the ether with you. Spirit, can we see what kind of animal spirit guide is walking with Scorpio? I'm going to kind of clear this energy. Animal spirit guide for Scorpio. What kind of animal spirit guide walking with Scorpio? I see the snake. Yes, the snake spirit, time to heal. You are really, really looking at these memories for purpose right now. Number 55, the double nickel converts to a 10, but you're shedding a skin. You're shedding your identity of who you used to be. It doesn't define who you are today. It was just things that happened, right? Sometimes things just happen, or you see things and it gets embedded in our minds. It gets embedded in our memories. It's kind of hard to see past the emotion you were feeling in the moment. This is a beautiful, beautiful reckoning happening in your life, Scorpio. A huge shedding happening, a letting go of the old and allowing yourself to become someone different now. Time to heal. Time to heal, time to forgive, time to stop being angry at the people who you perceive to be taking something from you or stripping you of what was rightfully yours, maybe. Yeah, I'm just seeing like this child really just kind of running through the door. There used to be this commercial. I grew up in Salt Lake City, Utah. Very Mormon environment, and my extended family was very, very Mormon, but regardless, they had this commercial where this child comes running through the house, into the house through the screen door, just slams the screen door and says, Dad, I got an A on my test. And the dad turns around and says, how many times have I told you not to slam that door? Right? It's just this popping of a balloon or a puncturing of the excitement. So you kind of got conditioned or learned, don't get too happy. Don't express happiness too freely, because someone's going to come in and pop that balloon. Someone who's not feeling happy, someone who's not feeling joy, and it kind of rubs up against them like sandpaper, because they're not not feeling that way. So yeah, that's what's coming across my mind right now. The dove spirit, be peace. Look at this. You just go from this chaos. You see this transition where you're shedding that skin, you're shedding that identity, you're shedding that mask, going with the flow, letting the experiences happen, not trying to push against them, not trying to change that parent who didn't understand that they needed to find their own joy. It was never going to be in the circumstance or in the situation. It was always going to be within. So that was their lesson to learn. That was their karmic lesson to learn. And so now you're just letting that be. You're just letting that go. That was their karma to have. That really had nothing to do with me. I'm going to continue to celebrate my successes here. And I'm going to do it through peace. Number 21 converts to a 3, and 3s are all about celebration and moving forward. Beautiful. Scorpio, I love this. Excuse me. Okay, let's take a look at the mind space for you, Scorpio. What are you thinking about right now, Scorpio? What is on your mind? Spirit, tell me what Scorpio needs to talk about here in the mind space. What are they thinking about? I see that Ace of Pentacles, and there it is, the Eureka. This is the answer. The answer is to let it be and to not try to manipulate the past. It's just really fruitless to try to do so. It's not, you're not winning anything. You're only losing in the win. When you rewrite history and you go back and you imagine yourself saying the thing that you should have said or you wanted to say, and you kind of rewrite that history, you've lost the now. You've lost the who you are now in that moment looking back here. So I know that this is why you're not trying to do that. You're not trying in the winning. You are losing because it comes to acceptance. It comes to acceptance of people being who they are and allowing them to be who they are, allowing someone to just have a bad day without taking that personally, without absorbing that energy, without taking that on here. So you are embarking out on a brand new journey when it comes to your money, Scorpio. And you're not letting the past, the poverty in the past affect you today. That was yesterday's problem. That was yesterday's dilemma. Beautiful. Brand new beginning in money. What is this new beginning in money for Scorpio? What is this new beginning for Scorpio? The 7 of Wands, look how you've had to defend yourself. The 2 of Wands and the 6 of Cups, soulmate energy. Man, my God, are you nostalgic right now? It's like you've got the soundtrack. You've made the soundtrack call to nostalgia, and you are looking back, listening to old songs that invoked emotions, trying to get the feeling back, trying to get some kind of feeling back that you had in yesteryear that you think you need to move on or to move forward. You think you need closure. You think you need the apology. You think you need to rewrite what happened there because it's so hard to reconcile. And sometimes you just have to close the book. You've defended yourself for a really long time, defended your place here, defended your right to be here, defended your right to celebrate your successes here. So yeah, it's time to just close that book, close that chapter. Sometimes, you know, that push for forgiveness or for someone to come in with the apology or to see you shining in your light there instead of yelling at you for slamming the door. It's a forever quest. You have to forgive. You have to find the forgiveness within yourself. You have to forgive without the apology, and just understand that they were going through their own things. Think of the obstacles, the things that life puts in front of us. Maybe that dad yelling at the kid not to slam the door is about to lose the house, and where is that child going to sleep, and how am I going to feed this child, and how, you know, it's very shallow to just have 1 second of someone's life put on repeat, right? It's just so not fair. It's like, you know, I use this example with my dad. He was diagnosed with pancreatic cancer in 2021, and so we just, you know, we had this year of hell where he was on chemotherapy and he was going to die, and we were praying for a miracle, and we were praying for, you know, I just thought I was going to have my miracle. People get them, right? But that year was very, very difficult to watch this thriving man. He was so healthy. My dad never really got to get old because he was just always so thriving. But he was 85 when he passed away, so he was 84 when he was diagnosed, and for years, he passed away in 2022. In the past 3 years, my mind keeps going back to that last year, to all the suffering, to all the pain, to all the way this man aged 100 years in 1 year. You know, it was devastating. It was just absolutely devastating. My dad was my hero and kept me very, very grounded. So I just realized, you know, recently it's been 3 years and I've had some time beyond the grief here, but I've come to the realization that why? It's so unfair to trap him in that year. It is so unfair for both of us. Instead of going back down through the years and the times we laughed together and the times he pushed me forward into the spotlight because he wanted me to be seen, and, you know, just all the support that my dad gave me. So I'm trying to ease up. I'm trying to get him out of that prison of pain that he lived in for a year and not let that steal the 84 years that he was thriving in life. So, and my dad was agnostic, so he kept me very balanced. Here I was, you know, he used to call me woo-woo, and very lovingly, and very much got a kick out of what I did. So he thought that was great. He thought it was great, but he thought it was all fairy tales. So, all right, let's take a look at the heart space for you, Scorpio. But yeah, nostalgia, looking back like I just did, right? Maybe these are the memories, these are the things that are having you reconcile and having you look at how you felt, how I felt in that year compared to how I felt, you know, the previous, you know, 55 years of my life, right? It's just not fair. It's not fair to lock our relationships and our memories into the most painful ones. What about the most brilliant ones? What about the most loving ones, the most supportive ones, when his arms were wrapped around me and he was putting me up in the air, putting me up on this pedestal because I was the twinkle in his eye, right? So it's not fair to lock our memories up and only remember the painful ones or the heart-wrenching ones. So yeah, the heart-opening ones, the unconditional love. The reason we're grieving so much is so hard is because we loved that hard. Otherwise, we wouldn't be grieving that hard, and I wouldn't miss him that hard if I didn't love my dad that hard. So. Okay, Scorpio, let's get out of this memory lane. Let's move into today. Let's move into the now. Let's move into the right now and the experiences that have shaped us to push us into the future now, to be the springing off point, the bouncing off board for the next. So let's see what's in your heart right now. What is in Scorpio's heart space right now? What is Scorpio feeling right now, Spirit? Wow, look at this. The Hanged Man comes out in reverse. That very, very long wait is over. Queen of Wands. Look at you getting your groove back here. The Seven of Cups, the Overwhelming card, and the Page of Pentacles, the New Quest. The New Quest starts out with money, this eureka, this idea that you could change something or bring in income in a different way here, and now you're off on the quest for it. You're just off and running with this feeling now. You're not using your mind so much as you are your heart now, letting your heart guide you toward the next eureka when it comes to your finances. These memories have become cloudy that you're looking back on. It's like, you know, you're just focusing on a certain area of your life or a certain segment of your life, but it is for purpose. It's to have you go back to how you were feeling in that moment, so you can detach or disengage from it and see it from this very loving perspective of it, Scorpio. There's a safety net of love underneath this experience that you went through, and it seems to have happened maybe when you were younger, maybe very much younger. And the memories are foggy. You're trying to insert who you are today into who you were yesterday. And I can promise you need to ease up on yourself that you didn't do the best you can do, because if you were in the exact same situation, you had the same environment, you were the same age, you were the same, everything was the same, you had the same resources, you didn't have everything you have today, including the experiences, you would have made the exact same decisions, because you've always made the best decision in the moment that you were forced to make the decision. decision. So you're coming into the understanding of this, that I always did the best I could do with this Queen of Wands energy, but the memories have become foggy and distorted because you're looking at them. It's like someone telling you their story of what they've gone through and you infusing how you would feel, how you would react if you were them, rather than letting them be them, letting them experience it the way they're experiencing in that moment, because their whole life has led up to that one moment, just like your whole life has led up to this. Those experiences were for purpose. So yeah, there's a bit of a fog over the past for you right now. That's to have you looking at it through this different perspective, through this different lens, so that you can detach from it and just really finally, once and for all, let it go. Just forgive it, infuse it with love. And that way you can float into the next without the guilt or the shame that you should be doing something different. That's the negative energy pulling at your ankles there, saying you were wrong. All right, let's look at the everyday. Let's look at the foundation of this for Scorpio. Tell me about the foundation of this for Scorpio. Tell me about the foundation of this. The King of Swords. Wow, look at this. Very sharp-minded, very clear. See, it goes from fogginess to a fog lifting to the clearing. This is really a clearing for you. Absolutely. I see it in the Seven of Wands now, Seven of Cups now, a 7-year cycle ending. It could have gone into several 7-year cycles, but it always led back to that original cycle, that original sin, that original loss of innocence for you. There was a before and an after, a severing of something, but now it's been so much time and so many different experiences have come in the in-between that it's become foggy and distorted, and you're not even sure what happened in the first place. It's like a family that has been estranged, has broken off, has not spoken to each other in years and years after a falling out or a big fight that seemed so intense, so crucial to be right in the moment. And it's been, 10 years and you're like, wow, what was the problem in the first place? What were we even fighting about? And you realize, I think that's why you're going back here and being so nostalgic. But you realize it had nothing to do about that. It could have been over, tripping over a flower or something. It could have been about something so stupid, but it all led up to that, right? It was the straw that broke the camel's back. It was just that one thing that pushed the whole thing over, but the whole thing was gonna fall over. It was gonna have its tower moment. So that was just what pushed it over the line. It had to be pushed. It had to be that way. You had to sever. You had to separate in order to get this perspective that you're getting now as the witness instead of as the victim or as the participant here. When you were the participant, it was very emotional, very fiery, very upsetting. It was heart-wrenching. So now you're seeing it from this different perspective. So you can clear it. So you can forgive it. So you can wish it well, wish it grace, and stop letting it live rent-free in your mind, because it's like a loop over and over until you can figure it out, or at least until you can have closure on it. So give it closure. Give it the closure it's craving, so that you can shut down the door on this confusion. Let this 7-year cycle end. All right, what else? What else? Final words of advice? Anything else for Scorpio in the foundation or the soul space here? Page of Wands, you're getting this apprenticeship mindset going, this new beginner's mind going here, Scorpio. It's beautiful. There's a eureka. This is it. This is the understanding I've been searching for. This is the answer I've been searching for. And if it was a snake, it would have bit me. That's what was coming up in my mind right now, because the answer was always forgiveness within me. This was pushing me to forgive myself for making the decisions that I made because of the circumstance that I was in. Again, you got to forgive yourself. Forgive yourself first. Without seeking the forgiveness from others. It has to come from within, or it will never come from without. So, as within, so without. Just let it be. Let it be. Ooh, Knight of Wands on the bottom of the deck here. Apprenticeship. You're starting out a new beginning. A brand new path is opened up for you. It has to do with money and your fire and your believing in yourself, and you're running through that door to tell the good news without someone turning around and snapping at you because they've had a very bad day. So it's time to just not even speak the celebrations out loud, because what you're doing is looking for that other's validation to celebrate you. It's time to just celebrate you without someone giving you the permission to celebrate you, or that you had, yeah, but you did something else wrong. So it kind of negates the celebration. It kind of negates the success. The failures that they're pointing out to you kind of negates the success. It's time to sever that cord. It's time to sever that affirmation that you need to be validated from without. Spirit is always validating you and congratulating you and loving on you no matter what, right? You're detaching from the outcome when you do that. So you don't need the applause. You don't need the approval. You don't need the acknowledgement in order to say, yes, good job, look what I did, look what I got through. And you're putting yourself back like you're looking at a movie so you can celebrate the younger version of you that got through some shit, right? You got through some things. So good on ya. All right, Scorpio, I'm going to leave it here. I hope you enjoyed this reading. If you did, don't forget to hit the like, share, and subscribe buttons. I cannot tell you how much I appreciate you, and I will definitely tune in with you soon.